Hello everyone, welcome back to some Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. For this battle we are returning to the outpost where the battles between Emperor Pinecone and High King Larry have still been going on even as we've been venturing out to the Great Maru and, you know, the return of Lord Pecky. There's still been fighting happening over here, and we have another invasion by Emperor Pinecone with their veteran legionnaires here, backed up by some of their elite Spartan warriors who are still in low numbers because it's hard to train these guys. It takes a long time, and some of them don't even make it past birth. They're just dropped off the side of a cliff because their eye looked weird. They're also backed up by the war machine of the Romans, Emperor Pinecone's finest catapults, versus a numerically superior High King Larry's defensive army here with just a bunch of men-at-arms. They are being led by a captain who I didn't name, so we'll call him Captain Hunch. Captain Hunch is this person's name. He is quite a fighter, but there is only one of them. But yeah, Captain Hunch will try and lead the defense. Now again, the Romans are veterans, describing them that way, and these guys are not as strong, but they are numerically superior, as I said, and they're going to be backed up by a few archers, not exactly like 200, what I had before. There is a fewer amount of them because they can be kind of strong in the end game as, you know, infantry is slowly walking towards them and just getting sniped. So that is going to be the armies of Emperor Pinecone versus High King Larry, trying to take this outpost once again from the clutches of Captain Hunch. That's what we call him, right? Hunch? The fine leader, who I forgot to name. Let's get going. There is no leader for the Romans. They just have a bunch of elite Spartans. Come on, Captain Hunch. That feels like Captain Crunch. The breakfast cereal. What I really want to know is how much of a factor does these troops blocking like matter? Like how often do they block? It's always going to be like they block 25% of the attacks that come their way. I kind of want to know that so I can plan these battles better. It's sometimes I just test a battle and it actually changes each test because I'm assuming the amount of time someone is blocking, or you know, whenever a model gets a flank on the other. It's not totally the same fight every single time I run a simulation. It's actually different, which is kind of cool. Now the catapults are firing onto the Emperor Pinecone's left flank, as are the archers. I probably should put the archers somewhere else, but oh well. Captain Hunch. Where's Captain Hunch? He's somewhere. Somewhere in there. But then, out of nowhere, a surprise attack from the Joker Queen? No, this is not the Joker Queen. That's kind of weird how you can just pause the game like that. Out of nowhere, a surprise force of what appears to be maybe walking corpses from the Joker Queen's army, which is very odd for these poor Roman soldiers, because as far as they know, the Joker Queen just kind of sticks to her own territory, and also the fact that these people are basically walking corpses, and in the distance they can see a giant decaying ogre that is apparently maybe leading these forces. We don't know. That could be the Ogre King, maybe resurrected by Lord Pecky to cause chaos and destruction amongst all of his enemies, which is, well, as far as we know, the Roman Emperor Pinecone and High King Larry, because these forces are going to kill anything that stands in their path. Again, being led by the High Ogre King. He is not nearly as strong as he was in life, but he is still quite the combatant. Pretty tanky as well. And let us see how this third force of a newly raised Joker Queen's army, see what they do in this fight. That's kind of cool how you can just pause the game and stuff. You see the Roman legionnaires are being pulled out of formation to try and stop this new threat. Honestly, I positioned their army in hopes that they would just run over this entire hillside to hit both armies, but, I mean, you know, this works, I guess. There are not nearly as many Ogre King forces, well, I should say Lord Pecky forces, as there are the other two. But, you know, they're just kind of a random thing I threw in here. Like, let's see what happens. The newly raised Ogre King, very pissed off that he died, is going to take out its rage on Lord Pecky's enemies. Oh, these poor Legionnaires. Legionnaires are much stronger than these Joker Queen raised dead. Again, the raised dead are all weaker. These are not the same stats as it was in the previous fight. They are a lot weaker. Although these units still do have, it seems like they have a longer range than maybe other soldiers do, which is a huge advantage. So as the battle was raging on, a understanding happened between the two armies, Emperor Pinecone and High King Larry's, and Captain Hutch called a ceasefire, a halt of his soldiers fighting Emperor Pinecone's, and both of them now knowing that an ogre leading an undead army was slowly chewing through both of their forces, they immediately allied up, and deciding that it is better for the living to ally against the dead, no matter who their leaders may be or what the situation may be. And so now we have the leftover army. I believe it's 3,000. Yeah, 3,064 combined total soldiers of the High King Larry and Emperor Pinecone, including their catapults because they were untouched and their archers because they were untouched. Captain Hutch leading the footmen, and then what's left of the Spartans leading the Romans against the forces of Lord Pecky. And then there may be one more state of this battle that happens. We'll see. Kind of depends. Captain Hutch, I would not engage against the Ogre King if I were you. In fact, Captain Hutch, we are going to... Oh, this is the wrong Captain Hutch! Oh, this guy's supposed to have a lot more hit points to fight. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe he was sick this day, that's why he's weaker. Oh my god, get away from that. Get away from that monstrosity. He will chew you alive. I'm trying to press. There we go. That's the block. Good luck, Captain Hutch. Oh my goodness, his forces. Even with the archer support, they are just dying. Captain Hutch! No! You were supposed to be stronger. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, luckily there are still a lot of Romans and Spartans left. Spartans are really strong. Oh, but not when the Ogre King is killing them. Those Spartans need to kind of pull back. Alright, it looks like the archers and the allied forces are destroying the army of Lord Pecky. Their leader still is here, though. Now it is up to the Ogre King and potentially one additional surprise. I actually need to keep an eye on his health here. Okay. Those archers are probably going to be the death of him. There's still a lot of Romans. Alright. I'm trying to... That's really cool, huh? You can pause it. Anyway, so at this point, the Ogre King's army being slain, and He could feel himself being drained by the fight and just the many slashes being thrown his way. His wounds are not quite healing as fast as they were at the beginning of this fight. He is going to unleash a spell that Lord Pecky taught him to make him a Necromancer Ogre King. So I have a D8 in my hands. I'm going to roll 2d8, and the number that the number I'm trying again. The number that I roll is going to be in the tens. So that's how many actual zombies he is going to be able to summon through his power that was granted to him by Lord Pecky. First roll is a 1. So that's 10 zombies. And this is really dangerous because remember, they come back. And then it's a 6. Okay, so 70 zombies are going to be raised around the Ogre King. Let's get a number here. There are 741 enemies remaining, including the archer. Stop! Alright, now I'm going to have to actually look back at the video and get the accurate amount. So let me do that, and then we'll come back after his spell has gone off with no spell effects, because that's not in the game yet. And then, yeah, I'll see you here in just a moment. Okay, so the spell has now gone off. The Ogre King, in a blast of green smoke and explosion that didn't actually kill any Romans, but looks really impressive, has now raised... the Spartan's kind of... That's okay. Has now raised from the dead the corpses around him into actual powerful well, very weak zombies, but they can create new zombies, to try and have one last effort against the Emperor Pinecone and High King Larry's alliance. His hit points have been adjusted down to 8,000, which was the point where he would cast a spell. And now let's see if these zombies can do it. The final battle. Well, of this particular matchup. Yeah. I figured that would be out. They needed a lot more zombies to get a footing against these Romans. 70 was not that much. Maybe I should have rolled more d8s. Oh well. I planned on 2, so I stuck to 2. Something tells me the Ogre King may die for a second time. His reinforcements were not as impressive as I was expecting. It's those archers, man. When they actually get hits off, they can be pretty deadly. Lord Pecky, come on! Well, I don't know, he's only at half health. He may be able to tank this out. Maybe. Now, if actual Lord Pecky was here, that wouldn't be a challenge. Obviously. That dude's just a lawnmower. Come on, Ogre King! For Lord Pecky! I don't know. You still gotta kill all those remaining Spartans. They do a lot of damage. Oh! And the Ogre King has fallen for a second time, leaving Oh. No. For this one, they're actually going to walk their separate way. I thought about it. I was like, do the archers just start firing? But the archers are going to follow the wishes of Captain Hutch, which was fight the rest of this battle out as an alliance, even though Captain Hutch has fallen. And the Spartans are going to lead what little remains of Emperor Pinecone's forces, including the catapults that need to be pulled out from the front line because they are now not that well defended. And they are going to have to withdraw and potentially come back and fight once again as enemies. But for right now, they shall leave as allies as they have slaughtered the Ogre King, halting Lord Pecky's plans in the area. We'll see what happens after this, everybody. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this three-way battle that turned into a two-way battle. And I will see you all in the next one, everybody. Take care.